What's up guys, and welcome back to Software Knowledge Solutions, and today we're talking about Call of Duty Warzone's update. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Call of Duty Warzone did a small update this morning, and I just want to show you guys an FPS boost guide for Season 1, the Pacific map, Caldera map, however people are calling it. People are calling it different names. A lot of people are calling it Pacific Update. That's pretty much what I'm going to call it because it does say Pacific when you go into the game or whatever the case might be. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, this game is very broken. Yes, we all know, and it irritates the fuck out of every single person out there. It doesn't matter if you're playing this on a PC or on a console like an Xbox or a PlayStation. Now, I've been playing this game a lot with my brother. I play this on my PC. My brother plays this on his PlayStation. And the game would just randomly crash. He had the issue where the game was so bad that he had to go and delete the game and reinstall the game.
This is bullshit.
Now, if you don't want these things happening to your machine or anything like that, all you need to do is follow my guidelines. I'm going to show you an FPS boost guide. I'm going to show you the dev error fix, and I'm going to show you how to fix the whole problem with you crashing to the desktop. Because yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's the worst thing if you're playing your game with a couple of friends on Discord or whatever the case might be, or you're talking in game or whatever the case might be, and then all of a sudden your game crashes to the desktop and you let your friends know, yo dude, my game just crashed, I'm on the desktop, I can't join back into the game. I just wish Warzone could have had that feature where you could go back into the game you just played like a lot of other games have for when your game crashes. Anyways, the developers, they do not know what the fuck they're doing with this game, to be honest with you. They do not know. The game was in maintenance yesterday. I don't even know what they fixed. It doesn't even look like they fixed anything. Is it just there for show? To be like, oh cool, alright, we fixed the game. Meanwhile, they didn't.
Seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, so the first thing you're going to need to do is actually go to the search button here and type in this PC. Enough ranting. Alright, let's open this up. So the first thing you're going to need to do is go to this documents over here and then go to Call of Duty Modern Warfare and go to players and then go to the advanced option over here. Now this one over here where it says RendererWorkerCount, all you need to do here is half the CPU cores of the CPU that you're currently running. Now I have an 8-core CPU, so I put this on 4. If you have a 12-core CPU, you put this on 6. If you have a 6-core CPU, you put this on 3. So you basically know what I'm talking about. You need to half the cores of your CPU, and this will gain you FPS by 10 to 20%, maybe 15%, depending on the CPU you have. Alright, so the next step you're going to need to do is actually just click on this little file over here and say save. Once you saved it and it's done, that is finished, you close out of this. The next step you're going to need to do is go to this PC again, like this. I'm just going to show you. So this PC, and open this up. So now where your Call of Duty Warzone is installed, you might have one drive, you might have multiple drives. Okay, so now I have multiple drives and my Call of Duty Warzone is installed over here. So I'm just going to delete this. This is an empty folder. I don't need it. This is where my Call of Duty is installed. Now I renamed this whole folder to Call of Duty Warzone is still broken because pretty much Call of Duty Warzone is still broken. But I'm going to show you guys a very important step to do to not have crash errors, and this is why I have this folder and actually why I'm going to make a new folder right now called Warzone New Update. I'm just going to call this. It says Warzone New Update. There's nothing inside of it, but you'll see why I'm making this folder. Alright, once you're done with this and you see your Call of Duties inside this drive over here. Now a lot of people might have one drive, only one of them. Right click on it, go to properties and go to disk cleanup and say OK and say delete files. Now it's going to delete all the cache and all those things. Next step you're going to need to do is go over here where it says tools and say check. Where it says scan this drive, what it's going to do is it's going to scan this drive for small little errors on the drive itself. If you don't have any errors on the drive like this, no errors were found, you are good to go with the drive that you have Warzone installed onto. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the next step you're going to need to do is actually go over here and just type in settings just like this and press enter. you're going to go to Update and Security, go to Windows Update, and say check for updates. Now, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very important step to keep your Windows up to date. I pretty much say this on every single Warzone FPS boost guide that I've ever shown. If you want your Warzone to work correctly, keep your Windows up to date. And keep your graphics card up to date as well. So the next step you're going to need to do is go over here, and you're going to type in Device Manager, just like this over here, and go to Device Manager. You're going to go to Display Adapters, right click on it on your graphics card, say Update Drivers, and say Search Automatically, and it will let you know if you have the latest driver installed on your system. Once you're done with that, what you're going to need to do next is actually go to the search button over here again and type in Settings, just like this, and you're going to go to Gaming. Once you're over here, you're going to go to Game Mode. Now, this is a very, very important step for some systems, and a lot of other systems, this does nothing for some systems, okay? So I just want to get this out there. If you switch this on, and you get better gameplay experience, you get better FPS, whatever the case might be, then keep it on. If you put this off, and you see no difference between your game by putting it on or off, just keep it off and leave it off. Because for me, this does nothing. I can put it on, I don't see a difference. I can put it off, I don't see a difference, so I just leave it off, and I leave it as is for my Nvidia graphics card that I have. Right, so there's another way of actually updating your graphics card drivers is doing it manually by going to any search browser and then just type in Nvidia or type in the graphics card that you have. For instance, let's just say my graphics card, so I type in 2060 RTX driver download. Then it will take you to the Nvidia page. You go and download the latest driver and then go custom installation. Go custom installation and make sure you select GeForce Experience, and then you untick the audio drivers. Like, it will ask you to install audio drivers, which you already have, otherwise you wouldn't have audio on your system. So untick everything and just install the driver itself, and then also install GeForce Experience. I highly recommend you install GeForce Experience and also keep your GeForce Experience up to date. Now, for people out there, when you run GeForce Experience, I highly recommend you close it once you opened it. Don't minimize it, because for some reason GeForce Experience also makes the game crash. I don't know why, but for instance, I've played this game before where I minimized this, I didn't close it, I accidentally minimized it, and my game crashed. So all I actually use this for is to keep my graphics card drivers up to date, and it will let me know when I have the latest drivers installed. So I'm going to go out of this, and I'm just going to show you something. Over here, it will show a little yellow thing over here if a new driver has been released for your graphics card. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, another step that you can do is actually go into your MSI Afterburner. If you do not have MSI Afterburner installed, I highly recommend you go and install it. I did a full video on how to do an overclock on your graphics card with Nvidia graphics cards. I'll leave that at the end of this video. Go check it out. You can get a 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 FPS boost in your game by just doing a small overclock on your graphics card and changing the fan curve so your game or your graphics card or your game in general doesn't thermal throttle your graphics card. So that when you start thermal throttling, you're going to lose FPS. And you obviously do not want to lose FPS inside this game, because this game is absolute horse shit, and it's not optimized, and it's absolute... I don't know what the developers are doing. I don't know. I honestly don't know. There's people out there. I mean, I have a 2060 OC, okay? I have a Gigabyte 2060 RTX OC, which it's a good card. It's not the best, but it's a good card for me. Like, I love this card. Honestly, I do. There are people out there that has 3060 graphics cards, 3070s, 3080s, 3090s that's complaining about FPS for Warzone. So I'm glad I have my 9700K compared with my RTX 2060 OC Gigabyte Edition. Yes, the Gigabyte Edition does get warm, it does get hot, I will not lie. It's not the best cooling solution at all. That's why I keep my fan curve at 90%. Okay, so go check that video out at the end of this video on how to do an overclock on your graphics card, and you'll get an FPS boost guide. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll actually get a FPS boost by using this alone as well. So there's a few things that you can do to get better FPS inside this game. A very important step is if you open up Call of Duty Warzone, press Ctrl Alt Delete, and then go to Task Manager, and you open up Task Manager. Once you open up Task Manager and you have your Warzone open, I highly recommend you just go to Details and then scroll down and find where it says Modern Warfare.exe. Right click on it, go to Set Priority and set it to High. Always have this on High. Right, so here comes the very, very important step that you're going to need to take. For people out there that's getting dev errors, the game crashes at random times, and all those nice things. So what I'm actually going to do is press Control Delete, go to Task Manager, and I'm going to close Call of Duty. I'm just going to end task, and I'm going to end my game. Alright, so now it's going to suspend it, and it's going to close Call of Duty Warzone. Alright, so Call of Duty Warzone was just suspended right now, and as you can see, it's not running anymore. So now the next step you're going to need to do to not have dev errors, the game crashing at random times, you know, black screens, all those things. This is the step that you're going to need to take. And yes, this actually works. Literally, this works. I don't know how the devs or the developers didn't even know how to do this, or they didn't. Maybe they just didn't. They don't feel like working on the game. They just sit back, relax. We don't care. Let's just bring out battle passes. Let people spend their fucking money on the game, and let's not fix the game. All right. So if you're getting dev errors and your game crashes to the desktop and all those nice things, which is great to have happening while you're playing the fucking game, let me show you what you need to do. All right. So you go to the start button over here and you go to this PC. All right. Or you could just type in this PC in the search button, and then go to where your Call of Duty is installed. Now my Call of Duty is installed over here, as you can see. So you go to this folder. Yours might just say Warzone. For example, I changed again. I'm just going to let people know because a lot of people don't understand this. Yours might just say Warzone, or whatever the case might be. It might say Call of Duty Warzone. Well, whatever it says, as long as it has to do with Warzone itself, and you hover over it, and it says 73.1 gigs, or whatever the case might be. If it's a big number, you know Call of Duty is installed in there. All right. You go inside here, and where it says Call of Duty Modern Warfare, you're going to right-click on it, say Cut, go back once, and make a new folder. Now, I already made a new folder just now to show you guys, which is Warzone New Update. Then you paste it inside that new folder and delete the previous folder, which is now empty. So say delete, and it's going to say Warzone New Update, and that's where your Call of Duty is installed now. You close out of this, and you're going to open up your Battlenet, and I'm going to show you what you're going to need to do to not get stuff like dev errors, game crashing to the desktop at random times, and all those nice things. Because it's always great to have the game crash to the desktop while you're in a game and you're basically almost at the part where you're going to win, or the game is going great, you're having fun with your friends, you're having laughter, the game is great, and then all of a sudden you are fucked because you're back on your desktop. That's the worst thing to happen. It's happening with PlayStations as well, where the game will just completely crash and you're back in your PlayStation lobby, or, you know, back on your PlayStation main screen, or whatever the case might be. So this is what you're going to need to do. You don't say install, you say locate this game, and you go and find where you just made that new folder, which is this one over here, Warzone New Update. You see, 73.1 gigs. You click on this file where it says Call of Duty Modern Warfare, select folder. It's going to say waiting, initializing, and then it's going to say update, and then it's going to say play. Now once you're done with that, all you need to do is say play. You're going to click on play, and what it's going to do is it's going to close my Battlenet now, because I say exit Battlenet completely once I launch a game. I highly recommend you go and do that. You go and do that in the settings for Battlenet itself, and then Warzone will launch. If you get this, where it says you're running safe mode, all you need to do is just click no. Right, ladies and gentlemen, a very important step is where it says installing shaders to optimize performance during gameplay. I highly recommend you let pack 1, pack 2, pack 3 install finish and say installation complete. If you rush into the game while this is doing this and it says fetching online profile, or it gets into the game while it's doing this and you go play a game, your game is going to crash, you're going to get FPS loss, and your game is going to suck. Ballsack. So please, don't do that. You see, I could say play now and go into the game, but rather let it say installation complete. Once you're done with that, you're going to go inside here, you go to options, and you're going to go to graphics, and you're going to go to quality. The first thing is very, very important, which is the field of view. Now, a lot of people play on their own personal preference. My personal preference is 120. I keep it like that just for me. It's my own personal preference. Everyone has their own personal preference for the field of view for this game. Now, this one over here, camera movement. Now, camera movement is actually like, for instance, if you've never played the new Battlefield before, or whatever the case might be, it's in a few games. I mean, maybe there's a game out there I have don't know about that has this, but Warzone brought this out. Now, you don't need this. I swear to God, you do not need this. Just put it on lease on -50. You don't need it. Streaming quality, put it on low. Texture resolution, you can keep this at high. Texture filter and a stop rate, you can put this at high. Particle quality, you can keep this at high. Bullet impact and sprays, you can keep this at high. This one you can keep on all. This one you can keep on enabled if you want to see effects of, I don't know, people's arms flying off or whatever the case might be. This one over here, I highly recommend, highly recommend you disable this. Do not enable this. Once you're done with that, you put this on 0.00, this on 0.00. If you have a 30 series graphics card and this helps you by enabling these things, go ahead and do so. If it doesn't, disable it. This one over here, anti-analyzing, I keep mine on T2 times or T2X, whatever you want to call this. I keep this on this and my game looks absolutely fine. It actually looks really good with this anti-analyzing on. This over here where it says depth of field, disable it. World motion blur, disable. Weapon motion blur, disable. You do not need this. This is a multiplayer game. You are not playing single player mode. If you had single player mode, I don't know, if you were playing single player Call of Duty, then it's fine to put on everything on ultra, everything enabled, then it's fine. You're playing multiplayer, so do not enable it. This way it says shadow map resolution, I highly recommend putting this on normal. This one over here, I had a lot of comments of people telling me, why don't you enable these two things? Because I don't wanna. With my setup, I don't like it. I honestly don't. If you want to enable this and your game looks better with these two on, then go ahead and do so. I disable this and I'm perfectly fine with my game. Particle lighting, put this on normal. You can put this on high. You can put this on ultra. It doesn't do anything to your VRAM. So I'm actually going to keep it on ultra. This one over here, where it says DirectX Ray Tracing, I highly recommend you disable this. This game does not look any better if you have Ray Tracing on. And I can prove that to you very, very easily in my gameplay that I have, my previous video that I uploaded, where I don't have DirectX Ray Tracing enabled, and the game looks absolutely fine. Go and check that out of my previous video that I uploaded, of me playing the game, a plunder game, without DirectX Ray Tracing. This game looks worse. No, it doesn't look worse. It doesn't look better, but you lose FPS. You do not want to be losing FPS in this game, so just disable it. This one over here, you're going to put on both, and then this one over here is your own personal preference. Again, ladies and gentlemen, it's your own personal preference with the machine that you're running, the display that you're running. This is your own personal preference. I keep mine on disabled. Okay, interface, I'm going to apply these settings. Interface, this one over here, if you want to enable the subtitles, you can. I don't really care about that. I honestly don't. This one over here, I highly recommend keeping this at 100, this at 100, and putting this on square. You can actually see much more on your map, mini-map, if this is on square. Mini-map rotation, I highly recommend. This is, again, it's your own personal preference, but I do recommend you enable this. And then this way it says show compass. Obviously, you want to be able to see this, because you can then actually call out, you say northwest 330, there's a guy there on the rooftop, whatever the case might be, keep that on there. This is letters. You can also change this to numbers, or you can change it to letters. Now that's the letters over there, and that's the numbers. I highly do recommend you keep this at letters. It's actually much better to call out for your teammates. I almost said enemies. Imagine calling for your enemies. Anyways, kill feed duration, you can put this higher if you want to see if the people are cheating or not. Because I have run across a couple of cheaters in this game. Today, yeah, they told us that they brought out a new anti-cheat system, which is a bunch of fucking bullshit. But anyway, so I keep mine on 20. It's normally on 10. I keep mine at 20. So this one over here, text chat, you can keep this enabled if you want to. These you can keep enabled. This you can keep disabled. You can disable this. This one over here, this is your frame per second counter. So if I put this on, it's going to come up over there at the top, right? So this is your server latency. If I put this on, it will say NA because I'm not in a game right now. If I enable the packet loss, it is going to say NA, I'm not in a game right now. These are your temperatures. This is your GPU timing, and this is your CPU timing. Now, I don't need all of these. I actually don't need any of these because I run MSI Afterburner, and this is what I see with my MSI Afterburner. I see all of these things. So I highly recommend you change you can put these on if you want to. If you don't use MSI Afterburner, you can go ahead and put these on. Then it's perfectly fine for you to use. And then a very important step is the graphics, and go to display. Scroll all the way down. This where it says brightness. The new map is very bright. I will not lie. It's very, very bright. So you can either put this back to default settings or keep it at 50. I'm actually going to keep this at 50 like this. All right. Press enter. You're just going to the block and press enter. All right. VSync, disable this unless you have a G-Sync monitor and stuff like that. Like, a fancy monitor, you can go and enable this, but that's your own personal preference. Again, if you have a 1080p monitor, keep it at 1080p and keep the render scale, basically, keep it at 100. You can drop this a bit down if you're getting FPS loss to 95 or 90. You can literally just type it in here like this. So 95, press enter, or 90 and press enter, and you should be good to go. I keep mine at 100, so it does my 1080p. I can put this at 4K, but I don't. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to lose FPS. Dynamic resolution, I disable this. Again, own personal preference. Aspect ratio, automatic for me. Again, own personal preference. Every single person has different monitors or displays. A lot of people have wide, ultra wide monitors and wide monitors and all those things. Again, this one is your own personal preference. Custom frame rate limit, I put on unlimited so I don't cap my frames. Okay, a lot of people are asking me like, why do you put it on unlimited? Because I do not want to cap my frames. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, these ones over here, you could just copy these settings and you should be fine. And then, ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, just all you need to do is when you play the game and you're inside the game, just press Control Delete, go to Task Manager, open up Task Manager, and it's going to do this. You go to Details, scroll all the way down, go to Modern Warfare, right click on it, say Set Priority, and set it to High. That's all you need to do, and this game will run much better on your machine. Ladies and gentlemen, if this worked for you, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new here. And thanks to everyone out there that subscribed to my YouTube channel. We hit 5,000 subscribers, and I am so proud of my YouTube channel for doing this in the past 4 months. Literally in the past 4 months, I hit 5,000 subscribers. Thanks to everyone out there. It really means a lot to me. If you want to jam with me, if you want to play some Warzone with me, and actually play the game with me and have some fun, have some laughs, be in Discord with me, with friends of mine, whatever the case might be, hit that join button, hit that highest level member. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to actually just show you this. So let me actually go here and let me just actually show you this. So I'm just going to go here and go to this. So now thanks to everyone out there that's subscribing to my YouTube channel. It honestly means a lot to me. It really, really does. I mean, I posted this video here 2 weeks ago where the game doesn't want to work at all. It has an error has occurred and you can't play the game. I did this fix and it worked for a lot of people. If you're still having that error, go check this video out and you should be good to go. So if you want to play this game with me on Discord and talk to me on Discord and you're having problems or whatever the case might be, by supporting my channel and me supporting you to fix your game for you, all you need to do is just click this join button over here and yeah, join the highest level member and we can play this game together. And then thanks to everyone out there that's watching my videos, it honestly means a lot to me. My FPS boost guides, my, the fixes for the game and stuff like that. It honestly means a lot to me. And thanks to everyone out there that's subscribing to my YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, peace out.